Hello and welcome back to English for Success, the channel that helps you hone your conversational English and public speaking skills. My name is Stephen. I'm a communication coach with a proven track record of helping professionals, athletes and other high achievers, entrepreneurs from over 30 countries around the world develop their English skills, get that promotion, ace that interview, nail that public speech and get to where they want to be. Okay, so today we are looking at the word legacy. This is one of the more personal words in motivational speaking, and it's a word that makes people stop and think, not just about what they have achieved, but also what they are leaving behind, and most importantly, what they are going to do about it. The word legacy comes from the Latin legatus, which means ambassador. An ambassador is somebody sent on a mission representing another entity, which is a long way from what people mean when they talk about building their legacy. But if you think about it, an ambassador doesn't just show up. They are carrying something forward on behalf of others, a message, for example. And that's kind of what legacy does as well. It's not what you owned, it's what you sent ahead. By the 15th century, the word had shifted to mean what you leave in a will, for example, property and money. Then it grew into something harder to put a price on, values and influence, for example, the way people remember you. You might recognize the root leg in other English words. The one that really comes to mind is very prominent is legal. Legal, legislation, delegate. Okay, they're all fairly similar. All from the same Latin root. All connected to the idea of sending, appointing, and representing. If you can remember that connection, maybe the word legacy will really stick in your mind if it is new for you. So in English-speaking cultures, legacy, I'd say, is largely a positive word. It's something people want to build, they want to be remembered, and they have a desire to leave something meaningful behind, which is, of course, deeply human. So that's probably why it appears so often in motivational speaking. Okay, so today we will look at 5 sets of common collocations grouped by similar meaning. Ready? Number 1, leave, establish, create a legacy. Okay, so to leave a legacy means to have an impact that outlasts you. To establish a legacy suggests something a little more deliberate. You've built it intentionally over time. And to create a legacy carries a similar sense of agency. You made something from nothing that will continue after you are gone. All 3 describe the same fundamental human desire, I think. The difference is in the level of intention behind it. So consider this example. My grandfather left a legacy of hard work and integrity that still shapes our family today. Okay, so now it's your turn. Think of someone in your life who has left, established or created something that outlasted them, and describe that in 2 to 3 sentences. Okay. Pause the video and practice saying your example out loud now. Remember, you will not improve your speaking without practice. When you are ready again, press play. Great stuff. Here are the 3 common questions using those collocations. Number 1, who in your life has left a legacy that still influences you today? Can you think of someone who created a legacy against all the odds? Have you ever done something that you hope has established your legacy? So today the first question is the one we'll practice with. Notice that it uses present perfect, has left, still influences. Your answer reaches into the past but connects directly to the present. Once again, 1 to 2 minutes long. Okay, I'll say that question again. Who in your life has left a legacy that still influences you today? Please pause the video now and practice answering the question. Take as long as you need. Okay, now here is the example answer that I have prepared for you. Ready? So there was this guy called Coach Briggs. I haven't seen him in probably 15 years, but he seems to work his way into my subconscious more than most people I see on a daily basis. He coached my football team when I was about 14. He was quiet and very certain, the kind of person you looked at like he already knew what you were capable of before you did. I remember one training session, I'd had a terrible week, completely in my head, ready to quit. And he pulled me aside and said, "The only thing standing between you and where you want to be is the story you're telling yourself. Why are you writing a story that's not meant for you?" And yeah, I was 14, I had no idea what he meant, but it stayed with me. I guess that's what a legacy looks like. Not a statue of something grand, just something small that sticks. Okay, notice the answer is personal and specific. We don't describe the legacy in abstract terms, we show it through one moment, one sentence that never left. That specificity is what makes an answer memorable. Two, a lasting legacy. A legacy that endures, a living legacy. So a lasting legacy is one that continues to have an impact long after the person is gone. A legacy that endures suggests it has survived challenges, time, even attempts to erase it. And a living legacy is perhaps the most powerful of the three. It describes a legacy that is still active, still growing, still influencing people right now. Okay, so consider this example sentence. She built a living legacy. Her students are now teaching her methods in schools around the world. Okay, so your challenge is to think of something or someone whose influence is still very much alive today, who is a living legacy. Describe it in 2 to 3 sentences, okay? Pause the video now and practice saying your example out loud. When you are ready again, please press play. Good work. Now here are the 3 common questions using those collocations. Ready? What do you think makes a legacy truly lasting? Can you think of someone whose legacy has endured long after they were gone? Is there someone important to you who has left a living legacy? Okay, so the first question is the one we'll practice with today. Notice it uses present simple. What makes? What do you think? This is a conceptual question. You are not describing a specific event. You are sharing a belief, a philosophy, and it's important to support it with a specific example. Once again, 1 to 2 minutes long. Okay? Pause the video now and practice answering that question. You can take as long as you'll need. When you're ready again, please press play. Okay, and now for the example answer. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, listening to motivational podcasts and relating it back to people in my own life. And I think the difference between a legacy that endures and one that just fades is whether it lives in people or in things. You can build something enormous, a company, a building, an institution, but it can disappear overnight. But if you change the way someone thinks, the way someone sees themselves, that doesn't go away. To take it back to Coach Briggs, he never built anything, and I don't think he even won any major awards. But there are probably 15, 20 people walking around right now making much better decisions because of one conversation he had with them on a football pitch. That's a living legacy, quietly and invisibly doing things that are completely unstoppable. Okay. Notice how the answer moves from a general idea to a more specific example, and then lands on a simple, memorable conclusion. That three-part structure, concept to example to the finisher, is quite an effective way to give an answer in English. Three, shape, secure, or cement your legacy. So to shape your legacy means you are actively influencing what it will become. You are making choices now that will define how you are remembered. To secure your legacy suggests you have done enough that it is safe, cement, permanent, and undeniable. Once again, here's the simple example to consider. Every decision he made in those final years in the office was designed to cement his legacy as a reformer. Okay, now it's your turn. Think about your own life. Are you shaping something right now, deliberately or not? Describe it in 2 to 3 sentences. Pause the video now and practice saying your example out loud. When you are ready again, please press play. Good. Here are the 3 common questions using those collocations. Are you thinking about shaping your legacy, or is it something you feel is too far away to worry about yet? Are you actively making daily choices that secure your legacy, or are you just working it out as you go? What would you need to achieve to feel like you had really cemented your legacy? Once again, the first question is the one we'll practice with today. Notice it uses present continuous. Are you thinking? Are you shaping? This is about right now. Be honest. Once again, 1 to 2 minutes long. Pause the video now and practice answering that question. You can take as long as you'll need. When you're ready again, please press play. Okay, and here is my example answer. Honestly, it crept up on me. Of course, I wasn't sitting around thinking about my legacy at 30. I was just trying to get through the week. But then I signed up to a mentor on a program for young people from difficult backgrounds, and something just kind of shifted. First session, there was this kid in the back row, kind of reminded me myself at 14. His head down, somewhere else entirely. And I thought, what would Coach Briggs do? And I realised that's what shaping a legacy actually feels like. Not grand gestures, just showing up and consistently for people who need someone to show up for them. So I'm not cementing anything yet. I'm nowhere near securing what I want to leave behind. But for the first time, I'm making daily choices with that question at the back of my mind. Does it matter? Will this outlast me? What do I want to outlast me? And that feels kind of like the beginning of something. Okay. Notice how the answer is honest about where the speaker is in the process. They're not claiming that they've got all the answers and it's all secured and cemented. They're still in the shaping process. That humility makes the answer believable and the language choice completely authentic. Four, carry, honor, or uphold a legacy. So to carry a legacy means to take something forward. You have received it, and now it is your responsibility to continue it. To honor a legacy means to show respect for what came before, to live or act in a way that acknowledges its value. To uphold a legacy is perhaps the most formal of the three. It suggests active maintenance, a conscious choice to protect and preserve what was built. Okay, so carry, forward motion, continuation, honor, respect, acknowledgement, uphold, active protection, and maintenance. Consider this simple example. Ready? She dedicated her career to honoring the legacy of the teachers who believed in her. Now think of someone whose values or work you feel a responsibility towards. Describe it in 2 or 3 sentences. Go. Pause the video now and practice saying your example out loud. When you are ready again, please press play. Okay, so next up, here are the 3 common questions using those collocations. Who will honor your legacy when you are gone? How do you uphold a legacy without losing your own identity in the process? What are you going to do in the next 5 years to build a legacy worth carrying forward? The third question is the one we'll practice with today. Notice it uses going to, a future form that expresses intention and plan. Your answer should be forward-looking, specific, and committed. 1 to 2 minutes long. I'll say the question one more time. It was a bit of a long one. Ready? What are you going to do in the next 5 years to build a legacy worth carrying forward? Okay? Pause the video now and practice answering that question. You can take as long as you'll need. When you're ready again, please press play. Okay, so our example speaker today, of course, is centering his answers around this Coach Briggs character, so it's no surprise, I imagine, that he also wants to become a coach in part 4. But before I ruin all the surprises, let me give that in the example answer. Ready? I'm going to become a coach. Maybe not football. Those days are gone. But what I'm saying is I want to help guide the next generation, even if it's in a small way. So I spent the last year or so on this mentor program, watching what happens when someone believes in a young person at exactly the right moment. And I keep thinking I could do more of this. I could do this properly. And Briggs never set out to leave a legacy. He just showed up every day and gave everything he had to the people in front of him. And look what that left behind. So in the next 5 years, I'm going to build something, a coaching program. A program that does for other people what Coach Briggs did for me. I'm going to carry that forward. And if I do it right, maybe one day someone will be sitting somewhere thinking about a conversation we had. That's enough. That's more than enough for me. Okay, notice the future with going to use naturally and repeatedly. I'm going to become, I'm going to build, I'm going to carry. This expresses clear intention and commitment. The answer is specific, personal, and forward-looking. Exactly what this tense demands. Five. Okay, set 5 today is a little bit different. We're going to introduce some idiomatic expressions which are roughly around the idea of legacy. So the 3 idiomatic expressions are: the torch has been passed, cast a long shadow, leave your mark. Okay, so as I just said, they're idiomatic expressions, not collocations as such, but they are used constantly by native speakers when talking about legacy. Learning to use them naturally will give you a nice lift and bring your English up to the next level. The torch has been passed. This means a responsibility, a role, or a legacy has been handed from one person or generation to the next. It comes from the ancient Olympic tradition of carrying a flame. When we say the torch has been passed, we mean someone has taken over the carrying of something important, idiomatically. Okay, so the example for that is: the torch has been passed to a new generation of leaders. The torch has been passed to a new generation of leaders. Okay, let's look at cast a long shadow next. When someone or something casts a long shadow, it means their influence extends far beyond what you might expect. It can be positive, a great mentor whose influence reaches into everything their students do, or it can be negative, a difficult past that still affects the present. So let's look at an example now. Ready? Her achievements cast a long shadow over everyone who followed in her footsteps. I'll say that again. Her achievements cast a long shadow over everyone who followed in her footsteps. Okay, next up, leave your mark. Slightly more informal than the others, this simply means to have a noticeable and lasting impact. It suggests something visible, something that can be pointed to, and I'd say it's slightly more often used in a negative way, but not always. Let's look at the example now. He left his mark on the industry in a way nobody has managed before. I'll say that again. He left his mark on the industry in a way that nobody had managed before. Okay, so now it's your turn. Please practice using all 3 before continuing. There is no long practice for the idioms. I just would like you to have a little go at trying to use these. If you want, you can put your responses into the chat below and I will try to look at them in due course. Okay. Okay, so now it is time for the complete example. We're going to bring everything together, those 4 collocations, 3 idioms, and a healthy amount of cohesive devices to glue everything together. So, the question today is as follows. Talk about your personal experience with legacy. Who has shaped yours? What you believe it means, and what you are going to do to build one worth leaving behind. I'll say that again. Talk about your personal experience with legacy. Who has shaped yours? What you believe it means, and what you are going to do to build one worth leaving behind. Okay, so yes, please pay attention to the cohesive devices, the words and phrases that glue together each part and help the answer flow. Things like to take it back to, and yet, which is why that says, looking back, These are the tools that turn 5 separate answers into one convincing flowing piece of spoken English. Also this week, listen closely for the 3 idiomatic expressions from 5. See if you can spot where they appear in the answer. Okay. So there was this guy, Coach Briggs. I hadn't seen him in like 15 years, but he still seems to work his way into my subconscious more than people I see on a daily basis. So he coached my football team when I was 14. And he was this quiet, certain, kind person who could look at you like he already knew what you were capable of. And one session he pulled me aside and said, the only thing standing between you and where you want to be is the story you're telling yourself. Why are you writing a story that's not meant for you? Yeah, I was 14. I had no idea what you meant, but it never left me. I guess that's what legacy looks like. Not a statue or something grand, just something small that sticks. And looking back, that one conversation really left a mark. I guess thinking about Briggs is what made me truly understand what a lasting legacy looks like. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, listening to motivational podcasts and relating it back. And I keep coming back to the same idea. It's not what you build, it's what you started in someone else. To take it back to Coach Briggs, he never built anything. I don't even think he won any major awards. But there are probably 15, 20 people going around making better decisions today because of like one conversation he had with them on a football pitch. A living legacy casts a long shadow. They're quiet, invisible, yet completely unstoppable. It crept up on me, the idea of shaping my own. Of course, I wasn't thinking about it at 30, but when I joined a mentor program for young people from all different backgrounds, something just shifted. So first session, there was this kid in the back row, head down, he was somewhere else entirely, and I thought, what would Coach Briggs do right now? And I realized that's what shaping a legacy feels like. Not grand gestures, just showing up consistently for people who need someone to show up. I'm not cementing anything in yet, but for the first time I'm making daily choices with the questions at the back of my mind. Does this matter? Will this outlast me? What do I want to outlast me? Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. In the next 5 years, I'm gonna become a coach. Probably not football, those days are gone, but I want it to guide the next generation, even if it's in just a small way. Because the torch has been passed, whether I asked for it or not. 15 years of carrying what Briggs gave me, and now it's time to carry it forward properly, to honour what he gave me by giving it to someone else. Not for recognition or reward, but because someone showed up for me at exactly the right moment. And I know what that's worth. Okay. Now it is your turn. Okay, thank you for watching. If you found this useful, check out the description below. You'll find links to other videos in the series and ways to work with me directly. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.